Welcome to another video of Besties Pick My Reads, and today we got our picks. These picks are actually quite shocking because of the friend that picked them. From my bestie girl, Kaitlin. Kaitlin and I became friends in 2011. It's 2025, so it's 14 years of friendship. So we became friends when I was in high school. I was dating this one guy and she was dating this other guy, and the guys we were dating were cousins, and so the four of us would hang out all the time. And then she and that guy are now married, and me and that guy broke up, but we're still best friends, okay? Because that's just how it works. And she is a big reader. She is big into series, so I thought she would pick something because I know she's been reading the Boys of Tommen series, so I thought she might pick that. And I know she loves the Windy City series, so I thought she might pick that. But she picked me 2 thrillers and a contemporary romance. She mainly reads just series, sports romance, and dark romance. So I was shocked, but I'm not mad about it. So we have got, none of these books are available currently on audio. 2 of them aren't even on Libby. And one of them I put the request in. It's just a bit of a wait because it's a newer book. And I'm saying that because at this point in time, if you guys have been here for a while, you will know I've had a very traumatic summer and my brain has not been able to focus. And I've been very busy with work, thank God. Very grateful for that, but reading books physically has been a struggle. But we've got If You Tell a Lie by Lucinda Berry. This is a super short psychological thriller. I do love Lucinda Berry. And it says, someone knows what they did that summer. They never considered how his wife might react, or that by the end of the summer a man would be dead. But Blakely always got her way and the others followed her lead, even when they knew it was dead wrong. The girls have been friends from day one at Camp Pendleton and have a haven for gifted children. But their senior summer was different. When Mr. Crosby, the handsome tennis coach, wound up murdered after the reckless lie Blakely, Grace, Meg, and Farrah swore themselves to secrecy. But they never spoke to each other again. Until now, 20 years later, a sinister note claiming to know what they did brings them back together. And once again, Blakely is pulling at the strings. Unfolding in a dual timeline, If You Tell a Lie is a disturbing journey into the dangerous, sometimes deadly consequences of peer pressure with a bone-chilling twist you won't see coming. Live, laugh, love, simply. That is then, we're also going to have Keep It in the Family by John Mars, and I think this is the book with the infamous, is it chapter 39? Yeah. This is the book with the infamous chapter 39 where the whole chapter is just fuck. So that's literally the reason I bought this. No idea what it's about. This will be my first John Mars. Mia and Finn were busy turning a dilapidated house into their dream home when Mia unexpectedly falls pregnant. But just when you think the house is ready, Mia discovers the shocking message scored into the skirting board. I will save them from the attic. Following the clue up to the eaves, the couple makes the gruesome discovery. Their home was once a real-life murder house, with the evidence still concealed within the 4 walls. In the wake of their traumatic discovery, the baby arrives and Mia can't shake her fixation with the monstrous crimes that happened right above them. Tormented by the terrible things she saw, she is desperate to dig into the past to find answers. Secrecy shrouds the mystery of the attic, but when shards of dark truth start to emerge, Mia realizes the danger is terrifyingly present. She is prepared to do anything to protect her family. But will the murderous figures from the past stop her from discovering their secret? Okay. And then The Love Haters by Katherine Center. This is Katherine Center's newest book. And I have the sprayed edge version, which is kind of crusty, honestly. And I have a signed copy. The beautiful end pages. And yeah, I'm very excited to read this. I've liked most of the Katherine Center books I have read, so I'm excited. There's a thin line between love and love-hating. Kate Vaughn has been burned by love in her past, and now she may be lighting her career on fire. She has 2 choices. Wait to get laid off from her job as a video producer, or at her coworker Cole's request, take a career-making, gig-profiling Tom Hutchinson, a Coast Guard rescue swimmer in Key West. The catch? Katie's not really qualified. She can't swim, but pretends that she can. Plus, Cole and Hutch are brothers, and they do not get along. Next stop, Paradise. But Paradise is messier than it seems, as Katie gets entangled with Hutch, the most scientifically good-looking man that she's ever seen, but maybe a bit of a love-hater, along with his colorful Aunt Rue and his rescue Great Dane. She gets trapped in a lie, or two. Swim lessons, helicopter flights, conga lines, drinking contests, hurricanes, and stolen kisses, and sure, along with chances to tell the truth, to face old fears, and to truly be brave at last. So, I'm sure it will be an emotional time. Katherine Center tends to do that to me. But let's get started. Okay guys, we are about halfway through The Love Haters by Katherine Center, and it's feeling like a 3.5 right now. It's really going to depend how the second half of the book goes, whether it's going to lean more 3 or more 4. But basically in this book, we have our main girl, Katie, and she's been burned by love in her past. Her ex-fiance is like a musician, and he's basically a douchebag. He cheated on her, they broke up, whatever. But now she's a video producer, and her coworker Cole basically wants her to do this new gig on his brother Hutch, who's part of the Coast Guard, basically doing like a docu-series on the Coast Guard. She agrees to go, but does not she doesn't provide the info to them that she does not know how to swim. So it's like this whole thing, because they have to do all this training, because in the helicopter goes down. I guess when helicopters go down, they flip upside down in the water, and she has to know how to swim. It's a whole situation. So he's kind of like teaching her how to swim, and we're finding out their backstories. And this book, I'm gonna see if there's actually a trigger warning in the beginning. I'm not triggered by this, but I do find it extremely, extremely notable. It's not in the front of the book, and I do feel it should be, that there is extremely, not extremely, but there is a lot of talk about restrictive eating, not eating, weight-focused things, weight loss, those types of things in this book. Our main character struggles with weight and with eating, and she's gone through times where she's stopped eating, and she's had to there's a big thing, because you have to weigh everything that goes on the helicopter, about her having to weigh herself, because she had to quite literally burn her scale because she was being so obsessive about her weight. And so I think that is quite notable in this book, and it's not something that is spoken about. I feel like there should have been a trigger warning, because it is talked about a lot, and I can see why it would be very triggering for a lot of people. And so there is that. But overall, I'm liking Katie as a character. I actually like the MMC Hutch more than I like Katie. I think Katie's a little bit irritating to me. But Hutch, we find out that his parents died, and what's our girl's name? I forget her name that she's staying with, but she is staying with his aunt. We find out who she is to him really, and what happened to his parents, and why she raised them. And it's just there was this one part though, it literally brought tears to my eyes, because she noticed that he is constantly picking up pennies and looking at them, whatever, and she asked him about it, and he was it's basically because his mom has passed away, and I always feel my mom leaves me pennies. It's been something that has been told to me many times. We're not gonna get into it, because if you don't believe in it, I don't want to hear it. But he's talking about how whenever he sees a penny, he looks at the penny and checks the year on it, and if it's his mom's birth year, he keeps it, because he feels it's her saying hi. And it literally brought tears to my eyes. But basically, we're at the part where she also is supposed to be trying to get him to agree to do a little mini series on her channel about him, because he's kind of really well known because he saved Jennifer Aniston's dog, which is just so silly, and he's adamantly against it. And now that she's learned why he's super against it, which is very spoiler, so I'm not gonna say, she doesn't want to try to convince him to do it anymore. But if he doesn't do it, her job is going to be at risk. Also, the naked hardcover of this is quite possibly the ugliest color green I've ever seen in my life. But So they're on the helicopter for the first time doing all of the shots, and it's supposed to be just kind of like informational, but as they're on the call, or on the helicopter, they get a call of somebody in distress needing the Coast Guard's help. So it's kind of where we're at. It's feeling like a 3.5 right now, and again, it will depend on how it ends. And it's very strange that I'm liking the male character better than the female, because that never happens. Okay, Kaitlin's first pick is done. We have finished The Love Haters by Katherine Center, and I am going to land on a 4-star with this one. It's not my favorite Katherine Center. My favorite Katherine Center is right here, Hello Stranger. But I did end up quite enjoying this. I really loved Hutch. I did think that the third act conflict in this book was so stupid. It like actually made me a little bit mad, but not enough to deduct points for it. So, yeah, no, there we are with that one. It is a 4. I don't really want to say anything too much about it because I don't want to spoil any of the reveals, obviously, but it was a sweet story. And there was an author's note at the end from Katherine about like body image, XYZ. I just like really feel like it should have been at the front, but maybe I'm just being sensitive. That's always an option, but 1 book down, 2 more to go. Okay, guys, we are going to get started on this book next. It is next up on the docket because it's really short. It's only like 250 pages, which is kind of crazy. But this is the type of book where I went to go put it on my currently reading, and I bought this just because I like Lucinda Berry. I like her books. I like her as a person. She just seems like good shit. This does not have good ratings. This has like a 3.4, 3.5. So I'm scared that it's going to be really bad. But we're gonna get into it. I have no idea what this is about. Basically, they never considered how someone knows what they did this summer. They never considered how his wife might react, or that by the end of the summer a man would be dead. But Blakely always got her way, and the others followed her lead, even when they knew it was dead wrong. The girls have been friends from day 1 at Camp Pendleton and have a haven for gifted children, but their senior summer was different when Mr. Crosby, the handsome tennis coach, wound up murdered after a reckless lie. Blakely, Gracely, Meg, and Thera swore themselves to secrecy and never spoke to each other again. Until now, 20 years later, a sinister note claiming to know what they did brings them back together, and once again, Blakely is pulling the strings. So, we will see. It seems like a lot of point of views for such a short book, if we're going to get all 4 girls' POV, but we will see. But I'm going to read this, and I will probably just check back when I'm done, maybe halfway, but since it's so short, we will see. I think the literal previous clip to this is me telling you guys I'm starting If You Tell a Lie by Lucinda Berry, which I am. Also, we're going to ignore the hair situation. And I am going to be starting that on my Kindle when I have time, but it's been the weekend, and if you do not know, I do have a small business, and my like big work days tend to be Thursday through Sunday. And those days I don't read a ton physically. It's mainly just audiobooks will I read, and then by the time I'm done working, like I don't want to read anything. I just want to veg out. So I got the audio for this on Everand, so we're about to get started. I have no idea what this is about. I know this is the one with the infamous chapter that just says fuck. That's the whole chapter. This is about Mia and Finn, and they're busy turning a house, like a derelict house into a dream home. Mia ends up pregnant, but when they think the house is ready, Mia discovers the shocking message scored into the skirting board saying, "I will save them from the attic." Following the clue into the eaves, the couple makes a gruesome discovery. Their home was once a real-life murder house, and the evidence is still concealed within the walls. Dun 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 dun. So, I hope it's really good. I hope it's really spooky. I'm ready for it. I've heard really good things. And I'm ready to get into it, baby. Guys, a midpoint check-in because I am just like, I'm very mad at myself because I let myself get behind for today, and I'm just really trying to focus and get work done. But I'm gonna quickly let you guys know about this book. So basically in this book we have our couple, Mia and Finn, and they are married. Finn's parents kind of suck. They're like living with his family right now as they're like looking for a home, and his mom's very like mean to Mia. She's kind of a bitch. Yeah, no, the whole nine. They end up moving into this house, and when they move in, they're doing some renovations, like I said, and they found these words referring to the attic. So, and Mia has recently found out that she's pregnant. She's struggled with infertility, and so they're very happy about this baby. They're going up to the attic to see what's up there, and they find something traumatic. I don't want to say anything that this doesn't say. They find something kind of traumatic in the attic, which results in Mia falling off the ladder in shock and having the baby very premature. And then it's basically, we're going past present timeline, divulging what happened in this house. And it was pretty crazy. My jaw was on the floor many a times, and I did give this 4 stars. So I'm very excited about that. And now, I don't know, no, I don't think that I'm going to finish this. The audiobook for this is only 8 hours because it's pretty short. So at 3 times speed. I'm planning on working for about 2 more hours for today. So we will get as far into this as we can. And I'll probably just check in with you guys when I finish that book. This is, I think, the one where I'm reading the books my friend Kaitlin recommended, yeah. So I'm going to have to see if she's read that John Mars book because that's pretty kooky crazy. Some of those twists, I was literally jaw on the floor. But, anywho, I'm gonna go, because I got shit to do. Okay, guys, it's the next day, and I am close to, I think I'm about, like, maybe 60% of the way through this book. But I'm gonna fix my lights on these bookshelves today. But I will say that I do think this is going to be a 3 because this book is doing something that I actually hate. And the thing is I picked up this book because it's Lucinda Berry, and I do love Lucinda. Definitely check out The Perfect Child. That's my favorite book that I've read by her. It's so good. But there's this like trope in thrillers, I don't know what it's called, you can let me know, where it's like something happens when they're teenagers and then they meet up, then they never talk to each other again, and then they meet up again years later because of like somebody's threatening to expose them. Like, I feel like it's a very common trope in thrillers, and I don't really like it ever. I almost never like it. I hate it more when it's at a college. This one's at like a summer camp, so I don't like hate it, but I'm not loving it. It's kind of a bit of like points of view, but basically we're learning about these friends, Blakely, Grace, Meg, and Thera, and basically they went to like this summer camp for gifted children. They were all kind of like awkward at school because of how smart they weren't really included, didn't really fit in. And so they love this summer camp, and then one of the girls, Blakely, like keeps trying to like seduce one of the camp counselors, and they catch him in like they get like a picture that looks kind of racy, and it's like this whole big scandal at the camp, even though like he has no interest in this student. But it's like this whole thing, and so we're getting all these different prints and view from then and now. We know something like big happened other than that, because like obviously like that's not good, but that's not like I'm gonna drop my life because I don't want anybody to know about it type shit. So we're also getting the point of view of the camp counselor's girlfriend, wife, I believe that's who it is, but we will see. They all got kind of like a note in the mail being like, I'm gonna tell everybody about what you did. So I'm intrigued to see what they did. I do think the audio is helping. I do think I would probably either DNF or give this a 2 if I was reading it physically, because I'd be kind of bored. But it's like very just fine. It's fine. It's nothing great, but I'm not like angry that I'm reading it. You know what I mean? So it's kind of where we're at. Let's go, baby. Let's go finish this up. The way that there's no picture is amazing. And just like that, we are done with Miss Kaitlin's picks. And overall, I'd say this video was pretty successful. 1, 2, 3 books. And I believe that these two were both 4-star reads and we had a 3-star read. This did end up being 3 stars. There were some pretty shocking twists at the end, so I'm pretty happy about that. I will say that is very exciting, very wonderful. We love to see it. And then we had 2 thrillers, which, if you know anything, I've been kind of in a funk with thrillers. I've fallen quite out of love with thrillers over the last, probably so far this year. So like the last 8 months. I realized that I think I like paranormal horror more than I like thrillers because mysteries don't really like do anything for me. But Keep It in the Family was very shocking. If you want something that has a lot of crazy twists, especially like right at the end, like a bunch of things just thrown at you, definitely pick this up. I think if you're a fan of Riley Sager, you'd really like this book. So that's my 2 cents on that. And this one's probably a skip. It's really short. It's only like 255 pages. So if you want something really quick and easy, then I suppose maybe check it on out. But overall, it's just a okay read. But that's gonna be everything for this episode of Besties Picks My Reads, and thank you so much for watching. Bye guys.